I'm going to move on, though, to introduce our 4x4 driver today. And our 4x4 driver is James Gardner, who's the MD at Sinclair Rush. And James, you're going to talk to us in the 4x4, 4 minutes, 4 slides. Off you go.
Okay, well, good, amazing leaders. And I'm going to talk to you about leadership lessons from some of the great leaders that we have in our availability through books and online platforms. The first one is a guy called John C. Maxwell. If you can, give us a thumbs up on your reactions if you've heard of John C. Maxwell before. I was privileged enough to be able to see him live a few months ago, and a fantastic opportunity. He's written over 80 books on leadership, and he's often asked which is the best one to read, or which is the first one to read. So he described this book, the Developing the Leader Within You 2.0, as an updated classic of his, as the best one to read first if you've not read any of his books. So I'd really encourage you to get that copy if you can, and I've shared it with my management team as well, and even the sort of supervisor level as well. So it really encourages people to understand what leadership is. Most people are promoted into a position because they were the best of that position, but they're not necessarily ever trained in leadership. And he said 2 things in that meeting: that as leaders, we do 2 things differently to most other people. And that was that we see more than other people, we have a bigger vision, and we see before other people as well. So I just wanted to encourage you with that's what leadership is all about. So if others don't get your idea or aren't understanding what you're doing, then don't worry. That's because you're a leader. You're supposed to see more and before others. And one of his fantastic quotes is, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." The next guy is Jim Rohn. Jim's written a couple of books and mentored some amazing people. One of those people is Tony Robbins, whether you like him or hate him, big American guy. And he's got some fantastic clips on YouTube. Jim Rohn, if you know him, give us a thumbs up on the screen if you've heard of him. I'd really encourage you to look at some of those YouTube clips. They're sort of timeless classics, really. He makes the complex simple, which isn't very easy to do. And one of the he said, one of his quotes was, "For things to change, you have to change." And we've just been discussing that in our breakout rooms about changing and marketing and doing things differently. So a great quote to use there from Jim. The next person I want to talk about is Les Brown. Give us a thumbs up or if you've heard of Les Brown. And Les was Mr. Motivator. He's known as the best motivational speaker of his time. And he has got one of the best YouTube clips I'd love for you to watch over the next few days. It's 35 minutes, 23 seconds long. And if you search on YouTube, it's called "It's Not Over Until You Win" by Les Brown. So I'll have a look at that over the weekend. Fantastic to share with younger people and children and up-and-coming managers and leaders. And one of the quotes that he had was, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars." It's fantastic. The last one is Mel Robbins. No relation to Tony Robbins, who I just mentioned. She wrote a book called The 5-Second Rule. Now, this has got nothing to do with dropping food on the floor and having 5 seconds to pick it up, unless you've got a 3-second dog. This is about motivating yourself to get started in doing something. Often that's the hardest part. That's the part that takes the most energy in doing whatever it is we have to do. So she's got this rule that you literally simply count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get up and start moving and start doing the thing that you've been putting off. It's a really encouraging book to read and to share with other people. So I'd really recommend her. She's amazing on social media. Lots of resources out there for free that you can use of hers. A few audiobooks as well that are really good to listen to. So they're my 4 leaders that I'd like to share with you. Hopefully you've found a new one in that, and you can encourage yourself and others around you to become amazing leaders. Back to you, Richard.